My name's Stacey Weitzner. I work with a company called SunnyBrown.com. Sunny has made huge strides in graphic recording, visual thinking. She actually gave a TED Talk this past year, had all to do about how our brains connect so much more with visuals, how we tend to absorb information much better when we've got visuals. So our whole approach to being in a meeting like this and capturing the information both verbally and visually is that it helps people retain that information more, and as you can see, makes it much more fun to look at again. There's not many people who look at the minutes from meetings, but people do tend to look at pictures.
That's a great point.
And these do tend, the nice thing about it is it tends to just give you snapshots. Somebody might not get put into the words the way that the words I chose, but chances are if they see a visual, say like the umbrella over here where it says, "What's your umbrella?" people will remember the point in the conversation where somebody brought that up, that they had umbrellas in their library. So what would speak to their community like that? So this just basically serves as basically being visual shorthand for what happened in a meeting. It's fun to look at, and it's just a fun way to be able to remember the meeting, really, to walk away with something more than just a notebook full of notes that unfortunately most of us don't ever open up again. And one question people often have is, how did you capture that theme, or how do you remember all that information? And what I don't know if people realize when you are just really listening is there do tend to be threads and themes that happen that people might not pick up on, because again, they're either having their own thoughts, or they're thinking about what someone said, or they're hungry for lunch, or whatever it is. So seriously, it's something, no one ever believes me when I say this, it's something everybody can do, and it's a great way to listen, and I promise you it is a great way to help retain information. And what I love about this meeting today is not only did we capture it this way, but all of the participants there was paper on the tables, and this is some of what we have left. I mean, you can see people, I love that some people drew. That's fantastic. Lots of words, and what we're going to, oh look, people. I'm intimidated to draw people, so I've got to say, I do love that. But what we're going to end up doing is putting these up on the wall also, so that for tomorrow's session, people can really see that it's a work in progress, that it really is about a conversation, everybody getting hands-on, everybody getting their fingerprints, as it were, on the content, and hopefully having a takeaway where people don't feel like you just ended up talking about all these great and grand ideas, but do you leave feeling like those are some things that I could do? Well, what was great about a meeting like today is I did have an idea of the agenda. It was 2 hours long, which might sound like a lot, but in the fact that we had people working and rotating tables, it's not a lot of time. So it was nice to have an agenda and kind of a skeleton for things. Obviously, where we are, the name of the meeting. Yay. This is definitely what the theme for the two conversations these 2 days are, the empowering voices, transforming libraries. We were focused on 3 questions today. The primary question being, what are the aspirational goals of our communities? And then the 3 different questions that were asked. The what do you see in your community? What would your community aspire to be? What would change? And then finally, in this picture of community, what's different about the library? Again, those were kind of the fire starter questions, and what the rest of this represents is what came out of those conversations. And speaking of fire starting, that's where we had David doing a fantastic job over here. This is not his actual profile, but as you can see, we've got David Lankus, aka Firestarter, and the whole theme of expecting more. Yes. And what I know we're going to be continuing that conversation tomorrow, and just capturing some of the highlights from David's talk here, the conversations that matter right now, how conversations actually help change shapes of things and help generate ideas and questions, and in interaction even more can grow out of that. The things that we need to move away from. You have a lot of these no things, the consumer-based mentality, fear, which could apply to just about anything in life. But again, all of the places that y'all can be as librarians, and where, frankly, all of us need to be as people. So David finished with this whole idea of what's the grand challenge. And we have all these great expectations and these aspirational goals. And what was very cool was to hear librarians not only talk about what their goals are, but where they're coming from in their communities, and how they can grow from that. Not feeling limited, recognizing what limitations might be, but realizing that it can also be basically be the trampoline off to these bigger aspirations. And I haven't quite finished this out, but those whole superpowers of aspiration.
Our bridge to tomorrow.
Exactly, the bridge to tomorrow. And right here I was going to write stay tuned to tomorrow, and that's what we'll be doing. But the whole idea here of not only teaching the community to expect more, to dream big, know even bigger, but just us as people and y'all as a group.
Absolutely. And also just want to thank you for this additional panel with some Twitter handles. Of course, you and I are on there, but also if folks are wanting to participate virtually and follow the conversation, some of us are live tweeting and uploading photos from the session, and we'll be doing that again tomorrow.
And I would invite anybody who, again, the whole idea of this is participatory, anybody who wants to add anything to here can, whether it's Twitter handles or I'm going to post, I've been telling people about Sunny Brown's TED Talk that has to do about doodling and how that helps learners and helps to retain information. So little things like that we'll put up there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to share and reflect with us. And I know I, for one, along with you, as I think many others, are super jazzed about the next part of where we'll go tomorrow.
Very much so. It's great.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.